Yeah, I mean, this is our last non-conference game. You know, we've got we go into American Conference play after this week. Right now we're 2-1, and this is the next football game. Now we're playing a very, very good opponent at their place. They've got very good players, and they've done a great job coaching them and pointing them in the right direction. So we have an incredible challenge, but you know, it's not the make or break situation that some people would lead you to believe. It is the next football game, and we'll get ready to go play it, and then when that one's over, we'll get ready to go play the next one.
Now, obviously, you recognize it's a big one for the fan bases and then for kids on each team that know each other. And is that something, again, where you kind of stress what you've been stressing about play disciplined football and do what you're supposed to do? Yeah,
we tried to turn everything inward for us. I think we've done a really good job, or at least through the first 3 weeks, of doing that, of just really turning the focus on ourselves and our own preparation, on our own discipline level, the things that we can control that'll manifest themselves with good play on Saturday. So, yeah, there's some familiarity with the kids there. Obviously, there's close proximity of the institutions, but you know, ultimately, it's up for us to go prepare to play as well as we can, and then we'll roll the ball out there and see what happens.
You spoke in there about the fact that, you know, what do you draw from UCLA? You said, well, I'm not really sure. Well, the kids all said, you know what, being on the big stage and playing well is maybe a bit of a confidence. But, you know, we played well against good teams before. We can do it again.
Yeah, embrace the competition. You know, that's what I always, you know, try and get our guys to do is, listen, let's go roll out there and go play ball. You know, I mean, ultimately we all picked up this ball one time when we were young and started playing because it was really fun. Well, let's do a great job preparing. Let's go see how good we can be, and then let's go play on a big stage versus somebody else that's very, very good, you know, at playing the game, and see what happens. So don't worry about you know, all the other external things. Let's just embrace that and go play ball.
What jumps out at you on tape when you look at their offense? Obviously, Bo Wallace right now, I think he's leading the country in completion percentage. He has shown before he will turn the ball over, and you guys have had turnovers and been able to get them.
Well, they are a two-headed monster offensively. They can run the football and throw it effectively. They have skilled kids all over the place that can make you play with big plays. So we'll have our work cut out for us, trying to keep it somewhat under wraps. You're not going to stop them, you know. I mean, that's just not going to happen. You know, but hopefully we can get in there and get a good plan together and maybe mix up the looks enough that we can get a couple stops.
Do you want to attack that offensively like you did against UCLA, as you just said then, you know, mixing it up so they can't pin their ears back defensively and come after you?
Well, we would like to, but sometimes those things are easier said than done. And they've got great personnel over there, and like I said, they've done a great job getting them in the right positions, and they're playing hard and with great confidence. So it'll be a great challenge for us to do our best to try and scratch out a living.
They like, obviously, offensively to push the pace, too, a little bit. Does that help your defense at all that you guys do that in practice and they've become a little accustomed to it? Obviously, different personnel and whatnot.
Yeah, I think they at least are familiar with the way that can go. And even when we were huddling, we still rapid fired 2 huddles at the defense in order to try and simulate that as much as possible. So the key to playing teams that go fast is first down. You know, if you can slow it down there, then you know there's no incentive to continue to go really fast. When they get rolling on you, though, it can get rough really quickly. So we'll have a great challenge for that. But I think we'll be ready for the speed. It's just, can we execute and get stops?
Tell me a little bit about Tank Jakes. Obviously, we saw what a terrific game he had Saturday. Your first impression of him when you got here, he didn't jump out at you.
Yeah, I was wondering where the rest of him was. You know, we watched Tank on film, and he was a very, very good football player in junior college, and brought him in on one of our first official visit weekends, and you know, he was shorter than advertised, and but we talked about it, and you know, we really enjoyed him on his visit, and our linebacker coach and he, Galen Scott, really hit it off, and you know, we took a chance on a guy that was a little bit undersized by most people's measurables, and he's turned to be a pretty darn good football player for us.
Is he a classic case of one of those guys that just plays better when the lights go on?
I think so. You know, he's just he does have some talent, though. It's not like he is a guy that's out there playing that has no talent. I mean, he's explosive and tough and highly intelligent football player, and has the ability to kind of explode through small spaces. But you know, just with the tangibles or the measurables, I guess you should say, you know, a lot of people, you know, probably passed on him.
As you mentioned in there, just football in the South is popular. Are you anxious to see how your team responds in this environment? It's going to be different than going out west to UCLA.
Yeah, oh, I am. That's probably the one thing that I'm most excited about, is just to see, because we're going to face adversity, loud adversity, and I'm looking forward to that part of it, just to see how this young group handles that. And you know, I'm confident we'll handle it as well as we can. But you know, that is one thing that I'm anxious to put them in some of those situations and see how we handle it.
Because you can't practice. How do you prepare for that, I guess?
Well, it's the emotion of it too. You know, like it gets loud, plus things you know aren't going your way. It's easy to press. You know, I've been in games. I had a coach tell me one time that, you know, when you're playing on the road and it's a hostile environment, you could be up by 14 points. The other team could score, and it sounds like you're down by 21. You feel like you're losing the game, and you're still up by 7. And managing those emotions, I think, is the important part of playing in an environment like that.